was saying welcome everybody to Dungeon Nytes, our weekly awesome fun time. This week we do have a cataract out, so Bamir the Bard is not able to be there to help persist us in our main campaign, so what the hell, we're going to do another one-shot in Theros. Which is totally fine with me because I love Theros. Last time was a blast for you guys. This time, hopefully it'll be a blast for me too. No, so the whole purpose of tonight's one-shot, and I try to make these things for all of us to be able to learn. So a lot of people are playing classes they've never played before or races they've never played before. For me, this is going to focus on some more naval navigations and things that I have never done to hopefully use in a future campaign. And also, thank you so much for that 6-month resub. Let's go. Appreciate it. That being said, we do have some new overall for Dungeon Nytes tonight. If you guys are saying, hey, this looks a little different, you'd be right. It's very different. We have a whole new overlay system tonight, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. It's very fluid and flexible. Just going to run through it real quick. So you can see we actually have a break screen now. Yeah, so good. You have a redesigned combat screen. And we do have some fun things for initiative whenever we run through those. So lots of that new to kind of spice this stuff up and to continue pushing the boundaries of how we bring things to you. And always don't forget that we launched our new show this past Wednesday, Dungeon Talks, and that was with Gage and Cospain, and it was a fantastic first episode. So we're going to be doing that on the weekly and bringing new people from the cast on each week to talk about them, and that is your chance to get your questions in and contribute and get your... If you have a burning want to know about one of the characters or their motivations, that's your time to ask. So you can post things to us, ask DN at Dungeon Nytes on Twitter, or you can post in our Discord. There's lots of ways. Lots and lots of ways. But it was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys will join us this coming Wednesday after this. That said, let's get into the meaty meats. All right, we're just going to talk about our characters real quick, and then we'll get into the one-shot itself. Savage, tell us about Sikar.
He is a ex-bounty hunter who decided to become a hero because he wanted to atone for something dark in his past.
Ooh.
He likes bows a lot. A lot. Probably a little bit too much.
And he's an Aarakocra, right?
He is an Aarakocra.
Can you fly? Or are you an Aarakocra that can't fly?
As long as I have on light armor, I can fly.
So you're not an ostrich.
No.
Oh, that'd be a Kenku, actually. They can't fly.
Ooh. All right. So we're going to move on over to the Triciella. Or Trisgella, whichever you prefer.
Oh my god. We already talked about this. No, you're not calling her TJ.
Or
Can't stop
TJ?
me.
That's
TJ.
not bad. But no, so Triciella, tell us about your character.
Stella is she's a Triton fighter, but more importantly, she's a gunslinger. And she is a former spy
Oh.
seeking to extend her realm of contacts and influence, which is why she wants to join the Immortals.
Oh. Okay. Eric?
Yes. So I'm playing Eric. Eric's a bit of an older character of mine. He is a traveler of planes. And kind of just happened upon this plane and likes a good adventure, so has joined these guys in their quest to join the group of heroes.
Nice. Is there anything
And he's
special about him
obnoxious.
as a fighter?
Yeah, he is a battle master, and he specializes with the use of a halberd.
Ooh. I like that. That's not a typical weapon that people go for, the halberd.
Well,
Well, you'll see why.
yeah.
I understand, but it's not a typical weapon. Look, trust me. Eric and I have
I'm not your
RP'd
typical
together
Viking.
before. We've actually been relatives at one point, so I'm aware of Eric. But no, I like the fact that you pick a halberd because it's different.
I don't count cousins as you're not my. Nope.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. I'm gonna have to talk to Eustace about this because Eric has disowned me. Eustace, help me. Anyway, don't ask. Pyron, talk to me about tell me about Pyron.
Well, nothing matches up to that anymore. I'm a fire genasi artificer in Pyron. He is a former pirate that enjoys drinking and mastered the art of brewing alcohol and is quite skilled with a various number of tools.
Can we be friends?
What's that?
I said, can we be friends?
Yeah, possibly. Super gruff, harsh, arrogant guy with a bad mouth, and he was branded with a dragon mark at a very young age, which enhanced fire magic. And his goal is to be a famous or a hero pirate captain and gain renown and wealth.
Ooh.
He can also shoot spells with his gun, so that's cool.
He can shoot spells with his gun?
Yeah, it's an artificer thing.
It's like Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth. I love that. That's awesome. All right, cool.
That's totally unintended, by the way, Optimos. Coincidental.
That actually is pretty neat. And I am the Avatar. No, it's fine. So
With our powers combined?
with our powers combined, I am DM Planet. Let's get into this.
Captain
this.
Theros?
one, Sean.
What?
Who's
I
getting
am
hard?
Captain Theros. Let's get into this, shall we? Let's see. Let's pick a good song. Yes. Welcome, those of you looking for adventure, to the land of Theros, a land rife with gods and monsters and heroes. Today we follow 4 heroes
I think I just broke my camera.
that have broken the overlay within the first 5 minutes. And while they fix it on their own, I'm going to continue telling you
Everyone turn off your
about
cameras.
their tale.
God, what's the order?
It goes.
Dated
It goes.
I'm just going to wait, actually.
No. So guys, shut it off. It goes. Fated, then corrupt,
Yeah. Then
then
cause.
then cause,
then
then
gate.
me.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Eric's
touched a
already
button.
Eric is already at it at the beginning. Once again,
Eric.
Theros is a land of heroes. And our 4 fledgling heroes have learned, well, they haven't learned about, they've known about the heroes guilds across Theros. And each one of them has chosen to travel to the polis of Neolantin to try and seek out the Immortals, the most prominent guild in all of Theros. The Immortals have renown unlike any other. They don't just breed and train heroes, they take on the quests of legend. When there are Krakens, when there are Arasta, when there are rogue gods, the Immortals are called upon to make things right, and thus live forever in the heart and minds of all the people in Theros. Our adventurers have traveled for some days to get to this city, and when they arrive, they see a mid-size polis. It's not something that would be super vast like Melitus, but it is a coastal city. It is built on the ruins of Olanton, which was smote by the god Heliod for their hubris. The people of Neolanton are a very humble people and have learned over time to respect the gods, respect the ocean, respect each other. It is also the southernmost point in Theros and has a wonderful harbor. This harbor is the most direct place, a direct line to the Dakra Isles, which is where the Guild of Immortals has its headquarters. No one knows on which island in particular it resides, but it is there. The journey is a 2-day journey from Nearlanton to the Dakra Isles. It is a perilous journey. The Siren Sea is... It's a perilous place. There are warring factions. There are pirates. There are creatures that terrorize trade. The goddess Thassa rules these waters and is a goddess who rules and believes in slow but constant change. Just like the waves slowly erode the shore, so does Thassa change and work her ways into this land. Our heroes have made their way to the dock and are looking for the ship known as the Siren Spear. And that is where we pick it up. Sakar, tell me what you see around you.
There's more people around than he's used to. He doesn't quite like it. He's just kind of trying to keep from being a sore thumb. He's holding his wings really close to him, make sure they're not spread out, knocking people over. He's just gonna walk as close to the boat as possible and just wait his turn to board.
Pyron, tell me about you. As you were making your way down the dock, what are you doing?
He just has a hand in one pocket, and he's just casually strolling towards the ship. Takes a look at it and kind of gives an acceptable nod.
Eric.
Eric's kind of a little lost in thought. He's sort of paying attention to the people in front of him. Not really. However, he is going through his bag. He's just looking for something. Shit. I lost it. He's gonna turn around, just look at the ground for a minute. He doesn't see what he's looking for, and then just goes right back. He puts his pack back on and just moves with the line.
Gisela.
She would have been consulting her contacts on who to talk to. So that she would know where to go when she went down to the docks. But she's guarding herself carefully.
As you make your way, Trisella, down to the docks, you notice that, once again, being a coastal city, the shore is kind of becomes the harbor. The kind of buildings almost go right up to the edge of the water, and then probably 5 to 10 docks just extend out into the water. There are a few ships. You see some smaller fishing ships. You see a couple larger fishing ships. And you see one that stands out in particular. It is a large 37-meter long trireme. It has a huge bronze fixture at the bow of the boat, typically used for ramming other ships. It's painted black with gold runes inlaid on the side. Those runes translate to the Siren Spear, and at the end of those runes you can see how they funnel into the depiction of a spear that wraps around towards the point or towards the bow of the ship. There are many people going on and off the ship, and at the top of the deck, you see a rather large Triton, like yourself, standing there, waiting, looking out across the deck.
They need to get here quick or we're leaving. We don't have time. New recruits or not, this ship has supplies that need to get back to the guild, and we have things to do. I can't wait here all day.
As he looks out across the dock, kind of discerning, he sees a few individuals that seem to stand out.
You, Arakakra, are you Sikar? You have to speak up.
That is my name.
You wish to be one of the Immortals.
Yes, I do. You seem to know a lot about me.
Well, when you apply to join the guild, I have to at least know your name. Board the ship quickly. We'll be off soon.
It's gonna take a hop forward and actually fly onto the ship.
Wings. Must be nice.
They do come in handy.
Welcome aboard.
He's then going to look around.
You, Child of Fire. You must be Pyron.
Boy, and you're the captain?
Yes. I am Master Emmaus. You may have heard of me.
Just when I applied?
Give me a history check. Any of you.
Looking for it. Where is it? Oh god, it's gonna be terrible. Oh, maybe not.
Well, that's about right for Eric. Wow, really? You all rolled terribly. Okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, Triciella, you rolled the 13. Okay. This is very fitting. You being a Triton, when you hear the name Master Emmaus, light bulbs and lightning go off in your brain. You're like, I know this. Master Emmaus is one of the foremost heroes in Theros. He single-handedly warded off a Tremokratis, which is the largest kraken known in the land. He is a bad mofo. And being a Triton, you also recognize his stature, and as you examine his clothes, you see that he's actually a Triton master of waves, meaning he has a series of abilities that allow him to control the sea, and typically spends lots of times in deep depths, kind of away from people. So certainly not someone you would expect to be on this ship.
Well, Pyron, come on aboard. We've been expecting you.
Thank you, sir. And strolls up to the deck.
Make yourself comfortable. We'll be off soon.
He looks right at you, Triciella.
Drusella, I assume.
That is my name.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm just gonna go on the ship.
I expect great things from you, being a fellow Triton. But we'll see.
And then he's gonna be eyeing it further down the dock, looking at some interestingly haired, mustache-laden human bumbling through his bag.
Oh dear. You there, are you... Eric?
What? Oh, yes. Hi. Yep, that's my name.
You...
Hello.
You wish to join the Immortals.
I do. It sounds like fun.
By Heliod. Well, this is going to be an interesting voyage. Come on board then. You're the last.
All right. Oh, have you seen my compass? It's gold. Has some jewels on it.
He is going to look around, and you're going to see water start to kind of dispel a good probably 50, 60 feet away behind you down the docks. And as it does, you're going to see him bring his hand up in motion to himself.
Is this what you seek?
And it is your compass.
Eric takes the compass.
Yep, this is it. Thank you. I must have dropped it when I walked out on the docks. I'm sorry.
Try not to lose things once we're in the sea. It will not be so easy to recover.
And when Eric walks up onto the ship, he is trying to put it away, and he kind of fumbles it a little bit, and then puts it in his bag.
I got it. Thank you.
You see Master Emmaus collect himself, and he starts giving orders to the crew.
All right, crew. It's time for us to push off this rock and get home. Pull up the steps. Everyone to your oars. We make for the home of the Immortals. For our new heroes seeking to join the guild, I just want to let you know a few things. One, the Guild of Immortals does not accept just anyone. And there is a possibility that you will die. Just in the initiation process. Hell, there's a chance that you might perish on the way to the guild. This voyage is only for those of stalwart heart and mind. If you would like to turn back in favor of a less perilous life, as a hero, I'm sure there is some sort of something you could do. But the time is now.
Fought too hard to get here to turn back now.
I have great things to do, so I'm fucking staying.
I like the enthusiasm.
I mean, I'm just here to have fun.
I wouldn't dream of turning back now.
Good, there's a few rules then. You want to stay in the top deck. No matter what weather we face, no matter how cold it is, no matter how the waves crash, and no matter what we face, you stay on the top deck. You can see at either end of this ship that there are 2 hoplites stationed, guarding the way down. Do not test them. They will make you look silly, I promise. Over there, you have the brothers, Belias and Barides. Over here, you have Grigoris and Stelios. All masterful fighters, wielders of spear and nyx like you've never seen. The only reason you probably haven't heard of them yet is because they are still not up to our standards. Be prepared to give the next years of your life to training, to sweat, to blood, of which, again, you may not survive. Should you prove yourself worthy, your name will be written in the stars, and you shall be immortal. Fair enough? Well, enough talking. Let's get off of here. To the sea.
And with that, you start to hear drums banging below. Doom, 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 doom. You hear a rowmaster below. Row! On me! Row! And with that, the ship starts moving, and you see the oars around you start to get in a rhythm, pushing you out to sea. Again, this journey will take 2 days. On deck is just you 4 and the hoplites. And that is how it will remain for the rest of the journey. Now it is about midday. The sea is crystal clear, the wind is strong. You're actually able to use the sails to aid you with favorable wind. You hear the rowmaster call out to bring oars in to help save the backs of those below. What are you guys doing to pass the time?
Is Master Messi at the helm? Or is he down below?
Triremes don't actually have a wheel.
Oh,
It's all just oars, yeah. It's managed
Just
through
oars?
the oars.
okay. So all the turn and everything. Cool. Party.
I'm gonna be checking out the ship. This car's never been on a ship before. He's very curious, so he's kind of just looking at everything that he can. Taking little short flights to check out the sails and stuff.
Emmaus is going to walk to the center of the deck.
So, any of you hungry?
Sure, I could eat.
What about you? Are you hungry?
Looking to the rest of you.
Food
Yeah.
sounds good.
Nods.
Well, the sea is bountiful. Fish.
And he kind of sits towards the top edge of where he's at and just pulls out a fishing rod and casts it out to the sea.
Eric sits down right next to the rear mast and pulls out some of his rations out of his bag and starts eating.
Good thing I brought food. I'm very hungry. Let me know how the fishing is. I might try it a bit.
These waters are bountiful. If you have the right knack for fishing, that is.
I love fishing.
You should join me.
I don't have a rod.
Oh, don't worry about that. Grigoris! Lend this man your rod.
Grigoris is going to come over.
I could use one as well if you have rods to spare.
Here you are. Take it,
I
it's
would-
sturdy.
I would like to give it a try as well.
Here. You know what? Take mine.
And Emmaus is going to hand you his rod, Drusilla.
Look, I'm not really one for fishing. You catch the fish and I'll cook it.
Ah. One who can cook. Good, we're already working as a team. That will pay off dividends.
I can do a lot more than cook too.
I'm sure. I look forward to seeing it. So, tell me more about each of you. I have your names and I know very little. Why have you come to the Immortals?
Tarn adjusts his scale mail a bit and kind of looks him in the eye. I have good things to do. I'm going to become one of the most famous pirate captains. And the Guild of Immortals is going to get me there.
You wish to be a pirate?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
If that is your goal, then why are you here? The Immortals would make you master of the ocean, not a mere pirate captain.
Perfect. Then maybe I can change my goal.
See that you think about that, and if you plan on being here for the duration, start thinking long term.
Sakar is gonna kind of act like he didn't hear the question and walk towards the front of the ship and begin fishing.
Eric's gonna take the rod and walk to the back of the ship and fish there.
Did no one else hear me? Why are you here? Tell me about yourself. We have nothing to pass the time. This is going to be a very long trip.
Well, I like a good adventure, and I felt like adventuring. And so I am here.
Life is an adventure, Eric. Where are you hoping it will take you?
I just follow my feet.
And your feet have led you to us. Interesting. I'm going to be very honest with you, Eric. I don't have many expectations of you. Maybe that's a good thing.
That's fine.
Good luck on the fishing. Drusilla, what about you?
Drusilla's gonna start fishing, but I've always had a knack for talking to people and gathering information. I feel like the Immortals will help me in that. And I like guns.
Same here.
I like guns.
It is unusual for a Triton to wield such weaponry. Typically, we are more of a, natural people. Would you mind showing me some of your weaponry?
And so she has her pistols on one on each side. She has two of them. And she'll point to the one that's on the side facing his direction since she started fishing. Would you like to see it up close?
Absolutely.
She'll pull her rod, take her weapon, and show it to him.
May I?
By all means.
And he's going to take the pistol in his hand and he's going to kind of turn it over a bit, kind of examine it.
We'll have to get you re-armored whenever we get to the guild. We do have things of finer make. No offense, but you have made the right decision to come to us.
She nods and smiles, puts her pistol back, goes back to fishing.
Hiram at this point. Hiram at this point pulls out his pistol. It's a very ornate and intricately designed pistol with a ruby affixed to the top, almost acting like a sight. And he kind of like twirls it. You said finer make, but nothing is finer than this.
Very ornate, surely, but does it shoot?
It shoots a lot more than just shitty bullets.
Do tell, I'm intrigued.
Well, it shoots fire and magic bullets. Never have to reload it.
Never have to reload, that must be handy in a fight.
Yeah. Save me more than once or twice.
When you're in the Immortals, you won't need saving. I can't wait to see those in action, though. Very, very interesting. Jew! Sakaar! What's the matter? Do we smell too close to food for you? Are we making you hungry? That you have to be so far away?
Just doing as I was told.
I said you could fish. I didn't say you had to. And you
Was
being
that a
our
wonderful-
conqueror, I'm surprised you even attempted to use the rod. I would have assumed you could have pulled something out of the water, should you wished.
I'll save the dazzling display of my abilities for later.
Being conservative is not a bad trait. Having restraint and patience are also important. Good things to consider. Just know I'm keeping my eye on you, Sakaar. I'd still like you to answer my question, though. Why are you here? What do you hope to gain from being an immortal?
I'm here because I have to be.
No one has to be. And in fact, if that's your attitude, you'll most likely die. Those without a strong desire to live and to endure are doomed to failure. We're still probably close enough you could fly back now.
I've endured a lot in my day. I'm sure I can handle this.
We'll see. We'll see.
I want you guys to give me what would be a good check for fishing?
Survival.
Yeah, give me some survival checks. Those of you that are fishing, hit me with that survival goodness. Okay. So Eric, you were able to catch a decent sized fish. Certainly not bad at all. Something akin to, a good kind of sea bass kind of looking fish. Looks pretty good. Both Sakaar and Trisella, you both caught things that are a little bit bigger. Just a bit. Successfully pulled in a haul that could probably feed the deck of the crew below, There are 3 decks below, but you could probably feed one of them, which is a good 30 to 40 people.
Well, I'm impressed. You all managed to catch something.
Makes sense that the Triton and a bird could catch fish. Glances at Eric. That also makes sense.
What? He was able to contribute. We should not judge. Those that bring things to the table are welcome. You're up, Byron. I just hope your cooking skills are as good as your gun looks.
He casts Produce Flame and emits a flame in his hand.
Well, isn't
Well-
that a trick?
Bring them here.
I'll bring her fish over.
I'm gonna
And,
keep one for myself, but I'll bring the rest over.
What do you mean keep one for yourself? You caught a ginormous fish.
Oh,
It's
big
basic.
fish. Okay.
It's
Never
like
mind.
it's like 3 feet long
Huge fish.
Just hugging
and a
it.
good
It's mine.
7 or 8 inches kind of wide, and it's got a large mouth. It's almost like a catfish, if you would picture the look of that.
I will use my short sword to cut a piece of it off because I want mine raw, and I will bring the rest to him.
Eric's gonna take the fish off the hook, set his rod down, and stick the fish on the end of his halberd, and then reach it out to Pyron to cook it while he's holding it on the end of his halberd.
Aaron starts cooking it. Well, at least you're fucking innovative.
I can just see you just turning it like a little spit. That's fantastic. I'm gonna give you some inspo for that. That's great.
I mean, you gotta be able to think on the fly on a ship, you know? This isn't my first rodeo.
Quite true. And good use of tools. You have to be willing to adapt to your environment. That is one of the many things that we will evaluate you on. Part of why you're being kept above deck. But neither here nor there. Let's eat.
And you see that Master Maze kind of calls up some people from below, and they start to kind of divvy up the fish into equal proportions and hand each of you a kind of bit of a larger size to make sure that you're nice and fed, and then take what's left below, and you can kind of hear the commotion below deck. You know, certainly getting a meal that they were not ready for has been a nice thing. There's a kind of you can hear some jovial tones coming from the deck below. Everybody seems happy. It was a nice little penchant for them to be able to get something different. As we continue sailing through the sea, the wind hits you, moving from right to left. You catch the salt of the sea in your nose. And the chill of night starts to make its way to you. Being
Smells
that
like
you
hope.
are... Being that you're so far away from land, and that there are no lights atop the deck, you can see the stars perfectly in the sky. Perfect for navigating. You can see Master Emmaus giving small orders here and there to the crew that they're taking below deck and making course corrections as you go. What was that, Eric?
What was that, Eric?
It smells like home.
Tell me about your home. You don't necessarily strike me as someone from around here.
I come from pretty far away. Um, I have basically lived on my own ship for probably about 5, maybe 10 years now.
Hmm. Where's your ship now?
Back home. Along with her crew.
You left your crew willingly.
Of course. My first mate can handle the ship until I get back.
It is assuming you come back.
Oh, I'll be back.
Starting to like you, Eric.
Well, I mean, thank you.
Come around, everyone. I want to tell you more about the guild.
Oh, I love story time.
Eric's gonna bring his halberd with him, along with a cloth and a stone, and like a whetstone, and he's gonna sharpen the blade and clean the blade from the fish from earlier, and keep it well oiled while he's sitting there.
Iron's just going to come over and kind of plop down and kind of put his hands like this and just waits.
I'll sit and sharpen my talons.
Just Yellow will come and sit as well.
Gaze up at the stars a moment. Tell me what you see.
Stars.
I
Thank you, Eric.
could I do I'm proficient in navigator tools. Could I like do a check to see like constellations or anything?
Sure.
What would that be? Nature? It's fine.
Yeah, you give me a nature check.
Okay, and so this isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna. Okay, well, add 12 to that, so 15. Should be a 15.
Okay, should be 15.
Yeah.
As you look up in the sky, you recognize the constellations for most of the kind of major gods of Theros. You can most easily point out Heliod, who is the god of the sun, Thassa, the goddess of the seas, some of the lesser gods, Afara, with the shape of a pouring water out of a jar. And you see kind of shapes of others, of heroes gone past.
He looks up. Well, a few things. Heliod, Thassa, even Hafara in there, and some looks like some heroes of some sort in the past.
Keen eye. Do you know how those stars happen to come into that order? How they were able to be aligned?
Well, judging by what you said earlier, I'm going to say the Immortals. You said that our names would be written in the stars, right?
Yes, but not us specifically. We are powerful and we are of legend, but we are not, in and of ourselves, able to change the stars. That said, those of the ilk of Clothis and Crufix, the original gods that banished the Titans, those that we worship most dear of Thassa, even those that are a bit more of war, Mogis, Erebos, all have their place and have the ability to shape the stars. We as immortals long to have our names written there, whether that be through our own deeds, whether that be through people willing us to the stars, or convincing the gods to do so. We long for that immortality, for truly this life is fleeting, And if nothing but our deeds to keep us alive, we would just be dust, water, fire, earth. Not to get overly deep on you, because, hey, sometimes it's just fun to go kill things, right? But the Immortals are a lot about balance. We have to balance what we take. We have to be particular in what we choose. We can't just go after every Hydra that we see. We are guardians of Theros. We protect this land. It is another thing to consider should you choose to continue your training with us. You will be called upon to protect all of Theros, all of its people. Any of your prejudice, any of your avarice towards a particular land or people is going to be irrelevant the second you get off this boat. You will be expected to save all equally. The quests we take shape the world, and if we do not keep some of these darker forces in check, then we will descend back into the time of Titans. We feel that is our calling of the gods. We've been told so. For instance, many years ago, I was called upon in a quest to face a kraken. Not just any kraken, the Tromocrates. The legends say that I single-handedly fought off the beast, but that simply isn't true. That is merely the stuff of legend. I had dear friends and heroes with me, and together with the help of Afara, we were able to drive it from Altrisos. Make no mistake, your legends will be bold, and your lives will be great. But still, you will need to learn what it is to value each other, value life, if you're going to be immortal.
And he kind of just stands up and starts looking at the stars.
Scar's gonna look at him kind of quizzically, and then wrap his rings around himself and just sit there and look up at the stars as well.
It is getting late. Perhaps we should turn in.
Emmaus is going to walk towards the edge of the ship, and without looking back, he's going to dive off into just the dark blue ocean below.
All right. See it.
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
I guess he's going to sleep while going with the boat. Pyron looks at Gisela. Do Tritons normally do that?
No, we sleep just like you would. Although I have heard his story, and I'm assuming he likes the water better than you or me.
All right.
That makes sense.
I mean, if he wants to fucking sleep with the fishes, collaboratively it looks like, that's fine.
I mean,
I can't fault him. If I could sleep with the wind, I would do so.
Look, I may be on fire, but I don't want to sleep in an inferno, okay? I'm fine with a bed.
I mean, you sleep where you're most comfortable, right? I mean, he's most comfortable in the water. It makes perfect sense.
Like I said, fair. He can do what he wants. He fought a kraken. I'm not going to question it.
I mean, you kind of did question it.
I just wonder why he did it. I'm not going to question if he likes to do it.
So
Well,
you're just
obviously, he
called
likes
to
to
do
do it
so.
because he did it.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, I'm going to bed. Have a good night.
Someone want to give me a perception check?
Thank you. There we go.
Sure.
Let the bird guy with eagle eyes do it.
And while you guys are rolling for perception, I'm just going to take one moment to say, welcome, Raiders. What's going on, Ruff? Senpai! Welcome to the stream, everybody. We are mid-adventure. We are sailing on a ship. We're doing all the fun stuff and things. So sit back, relax, embrace your chill, and let's get going. Sakar, did you not give me a check? Oh, you did. Oh, there you go. Sakar, as you kind of tuck yourself in and start to pull your wings around yourself, you hear two of the guards talking closest to you. Based on what Emmaus said to you earlier, this is Boleas and Baridis. Faintly, you hear them talking. Yeah, man, did you hear what happened in Altrizos? No. What happened? Apparently, someone summoned a new god. What do you mean they summoned a new god? They summoned a new god. Apparently they even tried to call a kraken in. There were giants holding people in. It was insane. Man, I wish I would have been there. I know, right? Apparently there was a group of heroes that fought this thing off. But it's still out there. Wonder if we're going to get a chance to fight it. Man, I hope so.
He's just gonna chuckle and put his head down and get ready to go to sleep.
Did I hear the same conversation?
Yes.
Interesting.
Guessing I heard nothing, so I'm just gonna turn in.
Fine.
As the night stays clear and the waves stay smooth, night turns to morning, and the light of the sun crests over the horizon, warming your bodies. You hear the sound of water. It kind of startles you as Emmaus once again appears from the depths and plants himself firmly on deck.
Time to rise. Didn't think I was going to let you sleep all day, did you?
Did you enjoy your nap?
Oh, I most certainly got some rest. I prefer to be in the deep depths.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Commune with nature. Be a bit closer to it.
Stand up, stretch a little bit, and then kind of flap my wings, get them all nice and limber.
Siren kind of
Ready for the day.
gets up sleepily. Oh, what fucking time is it?
Time? Well, it's approximately... That'd be, I don't know, by 6 by the dial in the morning.
Usually wake up at 7, but let's go. He just stands up.
I mean, pirate, haven't you ever heard the early bird gets the worm?
Are we talking about a saying or our Eric Hawker friend over there?
It's a saying.
Don't actually eat worms. Fish, yes. Worms, no.
If you
I
want, I
always
can
wondered.
toast you some breadcrumbs.
I mean, that's rude.
May have to take you up on that.
Why is that rude? I literally offered him toasted bread.
I've never understood toasting breadcrumbs. Aren't you just baking the bread twice at that point?
Yeah,
Give it
essentially.
a different texture.
I mean, it's wonderful if you like to eat crunchy things.
Hmm. I'll stick to my diet of ocean. Anyway, another lovely day. You know, not for nothing, but I was expecting to run into a bit of trouble on this journey. Thus far, it's been rather smooth. I do hope today brings some interesting things.
When you say that, Eric takes the butt of his halberd and knocks it on the deck.
Oh, no. No cause to worry right now, Eric. Everything is calm and smooth, just like the sea. Look at
I'm
that
not worried.
surface.
I just, when you say things like that, it usually tends to happen.
Well, I certainly hope it does. I'm no oracle,
Yeah.
but typically a smooth day on the Siren Sea is not... It's not typical. The route to the darkest islands, or the darkest islands, are... I mean, there may be a creature or two that likes to make this place its home. I was actually trying to make sure I could secure us a path, and made a small offering to Thassa on our behalf. If you were wise, you would do the same. Like I told you last night, there is an importance to understanding the flow of nature and the will of the gods. They may be, at times, a bit... Also, forgive me, petty, but we do have to work with most of them, so get used to that too.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, we still have some of the fish from yesterday. Pyron, if you wouldn't mind setting it ablaze, we could say prayer to Thassa for a safe journey.
Yeah, sure. Then he casts produce flame.
That's fine. I'll eat my rations.
You actually see that this is something formal that happens every morning on this ship, and at right around 6:30, and very close to on cue for Emmaus saying this, kind of people come up from below decks. You see a small altar is put forth kind of in the center of the ship, and he beckons to you, Pyron, to come over and to light the pyre.
He does the gestures and puts the flame onto the pyre.
All right, each of you, please come to the pyre. Place a hand on each of the corners.
I'll do as I'm told.
She will as well.
As do I.
I will totally join you, but I am not the religious type.
Like I said, better to be on the safe side, Eric. A subtle prayer to the goddess will not hurt anything. Not praying to the goddess could bring some ill effect. Anyway, good. You all have your hands on a corner. I will place my hand here. Goddess Thassa, ruler of the sea, please accept this offering we make to you for continued smooth seas and to keep your children at bay. Accept this and be satisfied.
And he's going to take a piece of fish in his offhand and he's going to place it on the pyre. You can see the piece of fish that he chose was very succulent fish. I mean, it's very fatty, nice looking, probably would have been amazing to eat. He certainly took a choice cut from yesterday and saved it for this purpose. And as he places it on, you can see Pyroneer flames start to engulf the meat. And over time, it turns to ash. You look over at Emmaus, who's had his eyes closed for the past few minutes while you've done this, still keeping your hands on the altar.
All right. You can remove your hands from the altar now. Please, take the altar below deck.
As he motions to the individuals on deck that brought it up. And they go take it below deck.
So how did you sleep?
Well, fine. Thanks for asking.
I laid my head on my backpack. That's how I slept.
Were you
Slept
comfortable?
well enough.
I mean, sure, I've slept in worse places.
I wouldn't want you to be stiff.
Oh no, I'm as nimble as a cat.
And Eric will perform a series of aerobic stretches.
What are you doing? Eric, what manner of gesture is that?
Yeah, I was gonna look at Eric really confused. Just be like, I slept fine. I like being amongst the ocean and air. Just kind of turning away from him because she doesn't know
mean-
what the hell he's doing.
What do you mean? I do this every day. I gotta be nimble.
And as he's like stretching, you can hear like his like joints popping, and while he's like moving, it's still like he's gaining some flexibility, but he's not very flexible.
As
That
the-
doesn't sound like it's good for you.
What are you talking about? This is perfect.
Byron kind of tilts his head at Eric's movements. Alright. That's fucking weird.
You, sir, have a potty mouth.
I was a pirate!
I mean, there's a lady in your company. You can't speak politely?
That lady has a gun? Probably more dangerous than you.
Why does it matter what she's carrying? She's still a lady.
I don't fucking care.
Don't
He's gonna go
squabble,
back to his
children.
stretching.
Eric here, I have something for you.
And he is going to pull out a small kind of vial, and you can see that it's empty. And he's going to reach into a separate pack and pull out a piece of fish. And you're going to see within his hand, he kind of holds out his hand a bit and holds the vial out next to it. And he kind of begins to manipulate the fish, and it starts to levitate in his hand a bit. And you start to see all of the oils kind of drain from this piece of fish and go into the bottle.
Oh, this will be good for my joints.
Yes, Eric. It is an old Triton remedy for stiffness, of which you seem to permanently suffer.
What are you talking about? Look at me.
And he's gonna stretch again, and his shoulders are gonna pop, crackle.
See, I'm fine.
I hope so, Eric. But here you go. Take this.
Thank you.
And with that, you're going to see Master Maus kind of withdraw. And he's going to go back to the back of the ship and kind of stand on a raised platform. And as you see him do this, he calls out to you.
Heroes. I'm so happy that today could be eventful, and I hope that your time aboard the ship has been relaxing. But I am happy to announce that things are going to get a bit more exciting. I did have a feeling last night when I was feeling the waves that there was a ship meaning to intercept us today. And if you look just over there, you can see them approaching. Hopefully they mean us harm. Before they get here, I'd like to set a few ground rules. Again, this is recruitment. You want to be an immortal, you prove yourself. The Hoplites will not help you at all, unless I deem it so. This boat, and whatever is on it, is for you to handle. Don't let us sink. I really like this ship.
And as you kind of look back over to the eastern side of the sea, you begin to see a ship emerge. Let's see. Just into view. And I want you to roll for initiative. Perfect. Does someone want to give me a perception check?
Sure.
That would be
Not I.
me.
Sakar or
Eric at
Eric.
18, Sakar 21.
I hope they both say
Initiative.
19.
Oh, that's
Oh, is that-
initiative.
Oh,
That's the initiative, correct?
That's the initiative.
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
I was say, I'm like, that should be our initiative. Drusella 7 and Pyron at 22.
I got the nat 20.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, only ever.
Too bad
for
it was
initiative.
wasted on initiative.
It's always for just initiative. Everything else is 3s and 4s.
So in the distance, you see this ship coming from afar. As of right now, it's roughly a good... What is that? A good kind of almost 180 feet away, per se. And Sakar, you and Eric kind of peer out over the side of the boat, and you're able to see that there is another ship coming. Looks like a Venetian war galley. On the front, you can see a few men that appear to be archers, and then others on the deck. How do you want to proceed?
I will let. I'll point that out to just TJ, because apparently I can't say her actual name, and
Triscella.
yeah, my tongue does not allow that. And Byron, and I'd like to take flight and move to the other side of the boat and just kind of hover there.
Ooh, I like that.
Up over here.
A bit far away at this point in time, but yeah.
I'll don my bow and say, "Not for me."
Ready yourselves? They'll be here sooner than you think.
Triscella will start loading her gun and get ready.
Tyron would like to use this time to create an eldritch cannon. Oh, by the way, yeah, we didn't get a token for this, but it can move.
Nice.
So
Tell us what this Eldritch Cannon is. I'm
yeah,
excited to
so
hear about it.
as an artificer, I have the ability to create an eldritch cannon. Using woodcarvers or smith's tools, which I have, you can take an action to magically create a small or tiny eldritch cannon in an unoccupied space on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you. A small eldritch cannon occupies its space, and a tiny one can be held in one hand. Once you create a cannon, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest or until you expend a spell slot of first level or higher. You can only have one cannon at a time and can't create one while your cannon is present. It's going to have... do this real quick. It's going to have an AC of 18. It is immune to poison, psychic, and all conditions. Ability checks are treated as a 10 with a +0. And if you cast Mending on it, it regains 2d6 hit points. And it disappears after it reaches 0 hit points, or after an hour, or after I dismiss it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and you can cast 3 different ones: Flamethrower, Force Ballista, or Protector. I'm creating a Force Ballista.
That is awesome.
Yeah, which, if you want that one.
No, it's fine.
All
So,
right.
are you going to choose to attack with, or you just have to conjure it first?
So I'm going to move to here.
Yeah, move your
And-
token.
Yep. And south of me, I'm going to, in that space, create the Eldritch Cannon. Actually, I'll be here and cast it just north of me. So that way I'm
So
not
give me
right
1 second. here.
next to Trisella.
Just going to try and get these dice out of the way here. Perfect. All right. As we go through the turn, we're going to come back to Sakar. So you've moved to the front of the ship.
Yes, sir.
What do you need to ready anything? What are you doing?
How far are they?
So they are moving. They are approximately like where they are now on the battle maps. They're about 150 feet away. They are coming in hot at ramming speed. At this point, you can clearly see 4 archers on the bow, and they look like they are prepping to fire.
I would like to cast something. I'd like to cast Spike Growth on the bow of their ship.
What does that do?
The ground in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration, and when a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time of the spell is cast has to make a wisdom or a perception check against my save DC to recognize the terrain.
Okay. So what's the area of effect again?
20 foot.
20 foot. Okay. So these are 5-foot squares. You just can put that right on the top of the deck there in the front?
Right in the middle of those guys.
Okay. Yeah. So basically the entire front of the ship now is covered in this impassable terrain or rough terrain. Awesome.
That's all I do.
All right. Eric.
Yep.
What do you do?
Eric is looking at the ship and looking at his halberd.
I need to get over there.
And that's my turn.
Okay. The archers are going to take aim. One at each of you. And they're going to roll to hit. And they have a plus they have a +6. Okay, so the first one is a 15 to hit Sakaar.
That hits.
Okay. I'm going to go through hits first, and I'm going to do damage so I can make sure I keep the rolls up. The next one is a 14 to hit Triss.
Nope.
That will be a miss.
Yes.
The next one is a 26 to hit Eric.
Nope. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it hit.
And the last one is a dirty 20 to hit Pyron.
That ties.
So 3 out of 4 hit. Let's see. And the 3 that were attacking, or that actually made the hit, we're using Archer's Eye, which meant they added as a bonus attack, a bonus action, they added a extra D10 to their damage roll. So we're going to roll for damage. And I hope this works and sends it over. Did that send it over to you guys? Can you see that roll?
Yep.
What roll? I don't see a roll.
I see a 4.
4.
I see a 4.
All
Yeah.
right, so it's a 1d8 plus 4. So they rolled a natural 1. So it's 5, or they rolled a 1. So that's a total of 5 damage plus a d10. So plus 3. So 8 total damage will go to you, Savage.
Total damage. Yes, sir.
Gisela, you will take 7 plus...
I didn't get hit.
Yeah, she
No,
didn't get hit.
You didn't hit. Sorry, Eric. Eric, you're going to take a 7 plus 3, so 10. And Pyron, you are going to take 6 plus 2, so 8 damage.
Sweet.
And Triss, it's your turn.
Syringe my pistol. I currently cannot do anything because they're too far away. The range on my pistol is only 90.
Okay.
So I will wait.
All right.
What's the range on their attack?
Their bow attack. It's their
Yeah.
range.
It's probably 120. I'm guessing
150 to 600.
150.
Nice.
Longbows.
Got some longbows.
Longbow happiness. And we're back to the top of the order. The ship now is going to move. So let me handle that happiness. Someone measure that for me real quick. I wanted to close about half the distance. That's a good. The right there. Looks to be a pretty good. All right. In Pyron, it's up to you.
Pyron gets hit with the arrow and kind of just pulls it out of his shoulder and goes, "Oh, let's fucking go!" And he slams the cannon, and with his bonus action, he fires a force ballista at the center left. That's an archer?
Yeah.
Yeah, center left archer. Roll that to hit.
You can, by the way, attack the ship as well.
Oh,
Just saying.
did not know that. No, he'll shoot the archer. The guy shot him. He's killing him. Let me figure out how this works for rolling it. I can just roll a normal d20. I'm sorry, it doesn't say what it hits with. I assume it just rolls a flat d20.
Yeah, you rolled a d20. That's everything's a roll to hit. It's a d20.
I mean, it doesn't get a plus.
Does
or
it count it? I was gonna say if it counts as a spell, is it not your spell?
It's not a
attack?
spell. It's an object that's attacking. I
Yeah.
think it just says make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon.
Okay, so
Are
it's a
you-
range. You use your range spell attack modifier.
Okay, so I use my modifier. Got it. Let's do my int. So that would be a 16.
16 is the AC. You have hit.
Okay, and then here, and then for 2d8, that would be 11.
For 11 damage. So that's with your cannon.
Yep. So the force ballista fires straight out. Just hits it.
As this force ballista, you can kind of feel the tension on this magical string release as it sails through the air. And it basically just hits through the side. The point kind of cuts a big gash into the side of the archer for 11 damage.
And for his action, he raises his pistol to the archer. And he kind of like glances at Emmaus. Here you fucking go! And he fires firebolt from his pistol.
Ah, fancy.
Oh god, why did that do that?
Can you hit anything, though?
I think that rolled a 15? Yeah, 15.
That's a miss.
It is.
Your shot goes just over the shoulder as the archer was ready for it.
Seems like your aim needs a little work there, Pyron. Also, they're getting closer. I do like this ship. Come on, heroes, show me what you got.
And that's my entire turn.
Sakar, you're up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the archer that Pyron just hit. And I will then attack him with my longbow. Not sure why it rolled all that.
If you did D&D Beyond, it's rolling your attack and your damage at the same time.
Yeah. And that is... That's only a 12 to hit.
That
11 to hit,
misses.
sorry.
Is it my turn now?
Oh, by the way,
Extra attacking.
when the archer got hit by the cannon, he gets pushed 5 feet back.
Ooh,
He's stuck in difficult terrain. How does that work?
he takes damage from it.
2d4.
Yes, you might want to.
Okay. You want to roll for damage then?
Yes.
I just remembered that.
Trapezoid no or take damage no?
He takes 4 damage.
Why does he take damage again? Read that to me. I missed that part.
Because he moved in the spike
Yeah.
growth.
Oh, he moved in the
Spikies,
spike grove.
yes.
Okay.
Character moves. When a creature moves within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Okay.
The
So it
car and
moved-
Pyron are gonna have fun.
He got moved 5 feet. He took 2d4 damage.
Nice. Okay. Good to know.
I mean, I can do up to 5 feet, so I could do
Nice.
1 foot if I wanted.
Always do 5 feet.
Let's see.
I have spike growth down.
Oh yeah, because it's like a 20-foot radius, isn't
Oh,
it?
you're so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
hold
nice.
on. We're gonna have him get pushed, and then you're saying he took additional
4 damage.
4 damage. Beautiful. You're gonna need it.
That's all. I had a feeling.
It says they take a move action. I'm gonna let it go because I like the flavor of it. If you're in spikes and you get moved, you're effed. Like you're boned.
When creature moves within, so I did.
Yeah, if they take a move action, like
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just reading it off.
I'm okay with it this time. Just know it goes both ways.
Uh,
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, heroes have so much to learn.
Anyway,
Spikes are cool.
spikes are cool, man. All right, we're
Cool.
gonna get back into it. Why did my music stop? I thought I had my music.
La music. La
There we
music.
go. And we resume. And it is
Still Sakar's turn.
it
Taking
is
another
Sakar's
attack.
turn.
Seeing he missed that one, he's gonna fire again. And since he's taking damage, so a plus 8 would be a 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
He takes 11. Yeah, it doesn't even roll right. And then Hunter's Mark damage would be 1d6. 16. And then another d8. He takes 18 points of damage.
All right. And what are you firing? An arrow?
Yes. Longbow.
So you fire an arrow back. And you catch him right in his shoulder. After getting spiked, he is not happy. But he's still looking okay.
They are formidable foes. We should keep our guard up.
Eric?
Eric's gonna take cover behind the mast.
That's a good play. I like that play. And is that your turn?
Yep.
All right, we are back up to the archers. So we're going to go ahead and roll to hit. That is going to be a miss on Savage. That is going to be a miss on Tricella. That is it doing the math? Hold on. No, I rolled a 16. Plus 6 is 23. No, 22 to hit Eric. But you were in three-quarter cover. So what does that make it? Do I have to roll one more time? Is it disadvantage? Is this cover?
Yeah, it should be disadvantage.
Is it disadvantage or do you just get an AC boost?
I will look.
Either way, both rolls are over 20.
3/4 cover has a +5 bonus to AC and dexterity saving throws.
That's what it's.
Okay. Well, that puts me at 24 AC to hit.
24 AC. So it's a +6. So the was 20.
So your first shot would have been the shot 23. You said that's a miss.
It was a 22, and then the second was a 24. So yeah, so 22. So that's a miss. Good job moving behind that mast. And the last one going to Pyron is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And then Pyron, you take max damage of 12. As the arrow flies true. Almost right next to the same shoulder. Or the spot that hit you in the shoulder the first time.
I can cast shield, by the way.
Are you going to cast shield?
Yeah.
You need to say so.
All right. Well, you started talking. I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm like, wait, I need to tell I need to cast shield. So, that puts me at 25.
As it's just about to hit you, you put up shield, and the arrow deflects right off. Archer looks pissed. It's like, ugh. And that will do it for the archers. Drusilla, it's up to you.
How do you tell the difference on this thing?
Of what?
They're 5-foot squares?
Yes, they're 5-foot squares. If you use the little measuring tool, you can see how far you're away from someone.
I don't remember how to do that.
On the left, there's a little circle with a ruler in the middle of it. You just click it, and then you can click and drag from you to any direction.
Ha. 8 feet.
I have 2 different shield abilities called shields. So I got confused.
Okay.
Nice.
So Ciela is going
Hide that
to
from other people.
take aim.
Okay.
She's going to spend a grit point and use piercing shot.
Ooh.
Would you like me to read it too? On hit, the creature takes damage, and I have to make an attack roll with disadvantage against every creature in a line directly behind the target. So it's just a bullet that keeps going.
Nice.
So,
Which one are you shooting at? The one right in front of you? The far right archer?
hold on.
Trying to hit the other 2 guys, or are you going to try and move yourself into a different position?
I can't click on it. That one. You see the ping?
Oh, the top left.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to
She's
go for
gonna-
one of the hoplites.
Yeah, and if it passes through the first one, it'll hit the second one.
Oh, okay.
So. And of
Roll
course.
to hit.
No, does not hit.
What do you mean it doesn't hit? What's the roll?
14?
14 plus what?
That was it. That was it. It was a 14.
Do you have a modifier?
+7.
I have a +7. Wait, this is confusing.
Rolled a 7.
Oh, you rolled a 7 and you had a +7,
Right.
so it's a 14?
Yeah. Okay, I see it. Sorry. I'm not used to this.
It's confusing.
It is very confusing right now. But it's a 14.
Okay. That will miss.
I'll miss. Okay.
You take aim, but because the ships are moving and you're not used to that, the judgment is just a little off and it goes over or goes a little bit wide to the left.
And I do have a second attack. So it'll just be a normal ranged attack against that first guy.
Oplite.
Hopefully day. Man,
Like,
I don't like.
Hopefully
I'm
day.
changing this dice. It sucks.
Use a different set.
That was a 10, so that misses again.
That will also miss. You take aim with the other pistol. Fire a shot. It's a little closer than the last one, but not by much. Still misses.
You're not impressing me, heroes. I expected more. No matter, keep going. I enjoy the view.
Well, I can't fight them from here. I have to be on this ship, or they have to be on this one. So you're just gonna have to wait.
And you hear Emmaus call out to maneuver the ship. And if you give me a second here, we're going to maneuver this other vessel a hair. And think as if you were kind of in the water, okay? Again, the ships are moving. And they were on a course to ram us. And Emmaus had us maneuver the ship so that we were going to be kind of coming in at kind of less of a head-on perspective. Or in more of a head-on perspective and less of them being able to just completely ram into our side. So whereas we have kind of the battering ram on the front, and they do as well, theirs is not as reinforced in a Venetian galley as ours is in the Tremere. And we make small impact. Kind of rocks everybody on both ship.
not me, I'm fine.
There, Eric. That should suffice. You now have a path. Onto the deck. Just be wary of the spiky thingies your friend placed over there. I doubt they feel too comfortable.
Okay.
They
Thanks.
do sting a tad.
And we are back to Pyron.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If someone is at the corner of a ship and they get pushed 5 feet back, do they get knocked off the ship?
Could be. Depends on what direction you're sending them in.
That off the ship.
Sure.
So as a bonus action, I am moving the cannon. So it's just north of me. It's basically moving the square. It can move up to 15 feet. So basically the square to the left of Drusilla. No?
Hold on. I might
a token
actually have
for it?
something for this. Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, a cannon.
It's a cannon.
All right. You're saying you have it Where?
So
Like
to the
here?
left of Trisal. No, left of Trisal.
Left of Trisal. Okay.
Yeah. Right there.
You just tell me, I'll move it for you.
Perfect. Yep.
But there's your
Right there.
little cannon.
So, and it will shoot a force ballista at the furthest right archer.
Okay.
And, oh.
Okay.
Well,
That's an intelligence roll, sir.
that's what I shoot with.
Oh. Interesting.
Anyway, that's
Shoots with his brain.
You should,
The
you should
six.
there should actually be a button in your spells that says range spell attack that you can click on to roll for a range spell attack.
Mhm.
Cast and it rolls.
Oh,
over.
yeah, so like.
I'll let you
that.
do it again.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And you hit.
I was using the wrong modifier.
Jesus, wrong one.
It's fine. You're still
20.
going to hit.
Thank you, Peyton.
You're welcome.
How much damage?
I'm skidding back to the screen. Look, it takes, I have like 3 different screens for my artificer stuff. And scroll. There we go. And 11.
So this poor archer kind of looks over and sees this cannon point in its direction. In his eyes, oh no. And as the blast hits center mass, he goes, "Huh!" And not only is he pushed through these thorns, but he's also taken right off the ship into the water. Would you give me the damage roll, please?
4 again.
Another 4 damage. So that was 11 damage plus a 4 damage. He's falling
Enjoy
into,
the drink.
He's falling into water, so there's no damage to be taken there, but still 15 damage on that archer.
Pyrena raises his gun for his action and use the center of his back through like the top of his tunic. You can see like a glow emitting from it. And using his dragon mark, he fires Chaos Bolt at the centermost left archer. And there we go.
The centermost left, okay?
All right. And that is a, which one was hit? A 7, so 14.
14 does not hit.
All right.
You take aim. Again, sails wide. Almost hits the guy behind him, though. Ducks his head.
And that is it.
Sakaar.
I am going to aim at the one that I shot earlier.
Far left, archer.
That guy, yeah. And take a shot at him with my bow.
All right.
.11 to hit, so he misses. And seeing that, he'll take another shot.
Pulls back the bow. Misses.
That is a 27 to hit.
You realize that you need to just tighten up your shot just a little bit, and as you adjust your aim and let loose the arrow,
And he will take... ...16 damage.
right in the stomach, the arrow sinks in right through his leather armor. And he starts, just pukes up some blood. Wipes it away from his face.
Nice shot.
I will fly back to back to here. Not hiding behind the mast or anything, just by Eric.
And Eric, you're up.
Thank you for moving the boat, but unfortunately, still a little too far. What? Oh.
Oh, by all means, Eric, please. I practically created a bridge for you.
Nope. I can't move that far. Sorry. It'll have to wait.
And he takes cover behind the other mast.
Magus is amused at this point. And it's back. One of the hoplites, hoplites, is going to move onto the ship. Just to the front of the ship. And give me a damage roll for the spikies.
How many feet did he walk through?
He had to move through. You said 20-foot cube. I'm going to say you had to walk through probably 5'5".
Just
5 to 10.
All right.
Give me 10. It's 10. Just give me 10. It's fine.
All right. He takes 8 damage.
All right. He's walking through. Ugh. Spikes are cutting up his legs. Sorry, say the damage again?
8 damage.
8 damage. That's what I thought.
Just be. They can actually see that that's gonna happen, correct?
Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
Well, yeah, they know. They're just determined.
Gotcha.
They are not deterred by your thorns. These are
Fair enough.
seasoned fighters that are coming after you.
What?
Fair enough.
Can I yell at the guy that just jumped on the deck?
Do whatever you want.
Come get me, bitch.
I might just like you.
He acts like he doesn't hear you. And next up are the archers.
Pussy.
As they take aim, they're going to once again. They're going to take aim at Eric, because Eric's making eyes at them, trying to make light of their situation, and they're not about that life. And the first one misses.
Ha!
The second one gets a natural 20. But then we'll have to see what the second roll is. That's a 19.
Nope. 3/4 cover, 25 AC.
You are so lucky.
24 AC.
You're right.
The third archer is then going to take aim. Is going to take aim at Trisella. As you were in clear line of sight.
Didn't you shoot at me 3 times?
No, twice. I had to roll disadvantage on them because you were in cover.
Oh.
And that would be a 22 to hit.
Oh, there isn't a disadvantage roll on that. It's just I
Oh,
get
it's just the
plus
higher
5
AC?
to my
Well, then I
AC.
got a
get
natural 20 on the ones. The first hit was a 26. It was a crit.
Not 20.
And
Yeah.
that hits.
Okay.
So going back, double damage. So you take 6 plus 6. So 12 damage from that first archer. The second one did not hit you, though.
Third one did hit me.
Third one did hit Trisella.
Mhm.
Fortunate for you. Oh, no. So it was 1d8 plus 4. So that was 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. So 20
You don't add the
damage.
modifier twice.
Isn't it? It doubles all damage.
It doesn't double the
It
modifier.
does double the modifier. Fine, then 16 damage. So that would have been 16 damage. And then the Drusella, you will take 5 damage. So as the archers start hailing down arrows, a few manage to connect. Eric, with your hubris, catching you in the shoulder, just behind that cover. And Drusella out in the open, one hits you right in the thigh. Doesn't go very deep, though. That last archer is in the water. And they're going to use their movement to swim back onto the boat and pull themselves up back on deck. And I'm going to make that their turn.
Spikes?
Not in the spikes.
Okay.
They did not get on during the spikies.
That's fine.
All right. Then we're going to have our second hoplite friend also rush through the spikes and make their way onto the back of the ship. Also through 10 feet of spikes.
So 11 points of damage.
Being cut up. Manages to jump onto the boat. Basically step over onto the boat. Drusella.
Drusella is going to take her first shot at that archer. The archer on the far left that's still on the boat.
Okay. Yep. The one you guys hit initially. The one that's most hurt.
22 to hit.
That will most certainly hit.
It is for 10 damage.
As you pull up your pistol, you finally take aim. Now the ships aren't moving. Your aim is true. You pull the trigger right into the chest. Seriously hurt at this point.
And she'll make her second attack on the same archer. That is a miss.
Second shot with your offhand. Bullet sails just over his head as he doubles over in pain. Ugh.
And that is it for my turn.
The additional 2 hoplites are going to make their way to the other side of the ship. One of them taking double thorn damage. The other one not taking any damage at all.
The one that takes damage takes 10 damage.
Okay. Again, walking through those thorns, getting cut up. They're upset, but they're making their way to the ship. The 2 hoplites, or hoplites, from our ship kind of lower themselves into the stairs and raise their shields. They are not engaging. And they are merely protecting all of the people below. And that will bring us back to Pyron.
How many times? Eric's been hit twice, right?
Yeah, I'm down to about 32 HP.
Yep.
Okay. Byron's going to move up, kind of just right, about like right here. And when he moves by his cannon, he's going to have the cannon turn to the backmost hoplite on the ship and fire a force ballista at him.
The one on the ship.
On our ship.
On our ship, okay.
That's just gonna turn. And
Roll to hit.
it hits.
That will most certainly hit.
And back to the screen.
Did you move it or did you just point it?
I just turned it, so just pointed. And 7 damage. And for 12. And we'll push the back one off 5 feet into the wall.
Nice. As that second Hoplite kind of is standing there, the first one in front of it sees the cannon pointing in their direction and kind of takes a sidestep, and the ballista, as it fires, hits the one behind, driving him into the water. You said for 11 damage?
12.
12 damage. As you hear him fall into the water.
And then for the rest of his movement, he's going to move up right next to Eric and kind of put his hand on Eric's shoulder. Well, time for you to get in there, Eric. And he puts his gun to Eric's head and casts Cure Wounds through his gun.
I love the idea
What?
of that.
What? Hey! Hey! What?
And for 10 healing, heals Eric.
I love the imagery of you putting your gun up to his head and he's like, eh? And all of a sudden, as you pull the trigger, this kind of green healing, kind of almost like gunpowder, seems to just fall over Eric's face. Might even make him sneeze. And then all of a sudden he feels a bit restored. Your wounds are starting to close up. That arrow shot,
Hey,
not
I'm
so
feeling
bad
pretty good.
anymore. Almost as good as fish oil.
Their fucking gun's not just for killing things. Get in there.
Well, he just needs to come to me, and then we can fight all day.
Most curious, but well done.
Sakar, you're up.
He will take a shot at the Hoplite that is on our boat with his longbow. Has he taken damage? Yes, he took damage.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. That is a nat 1, so he's gonna shoot again.
Can I be in the same space as Eric?
Yes.
Oh, then I would like.
Players-
Sorry,
Players
like
can
to do that.
occupy the same place, same
then
space.
I would like to be in the same spot as Eric and also be in 3/4 cover. Okay.
Smart move. Smart move.
That's 26
That's only
to
from
hit.
those that would actually be behind, not have a line of sight on you.
I
Keep in
know.
mind, it's not that you automatically gain 3/4 cover.
I know.
Okay, just saying.
Already been hit with 2.
Oh, that's why I'm standing where I'm standing, because they
Uh,
don't have direct line of sight on me.
Yes, that's 26 to hit on the second one.
Sure,
And
certainly hits. You're aiming at the same archer, correct?
no, I'm aiming at the Hoplite that is on our boat.
Oh, the Hoplite on your boat.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be 9 damage.
As you pull back your bow and loose, one sails a little wide. Immediately, you pull another one. He wasn't able to get his shield up in time, and it catches him kind of high. He pulls it out and chucks it on the ground.
And then he'd like to fly off the side of the boat and down to where nothing can see him.
Interesting tactics. I love it.
That is his turn.
Eric.
Yep. Eric sees the remaining hoplite on the deck. And he's gonna. How far away is that guy? Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay. He's just gonna look at him.
Hey, come get me. Or be a coward.
And he's gonna continue to put the mast between the archers and himself.
Okay. As you say this time, he hears you. And after having been hit with that arrow, he's not happy. And he charges at you.
When he gets to 10 feet away, I'm gonna make an opportunity attack against him.
You didn't ready an action. Is that a reaction?
I don't have to.
He
It
has the
is-
feats.
I have the feats.
Fair enough.
You took what? Polar Master, Great Weapon Master, and Sentinel?
And Sentinel.
You freaking evil person.
It's fine. So make your opportunity attack.
That is a 18 to hit.
Just barely.
And I will even I'll take that damage too that it rolled.
Which? 13?
Yeah, 13 slashing damage.
13 slashing damage.
And his movement is now 0. He cannot move.
So as he runs towards you, and you stick him with the end of the halberd, he takes his shield, bashes away your halberd, kind of doubles over for a second, and in his frustration, he takes his spear. And he goes to throw it at you. That is a 16 to hit.
Miss.
He's going to pull out one more spear. And that is a 19 to hit.
That is my AC.
As he throws the spear, there's going to be 5 damage you take with that spear.
Okay.
Basically, he just doubles over, chucks the spear at you, hits you in your toe. He's not feeling too good after he took all that damage.
How much is the damage?
5.
Okay. Thank you.
It is the archer's turn. They are going to take aim in the same kind of order. The first 2 are going to try and hit Eric and Pyron respectively. So the first one is a 17 to hit. Pyron.
Oh, that misses.
And the second one is a nat 20. So a 26 to hit Eric.
Okay.
And that will be 6 plus 4, 10 plus 7. So 17 damage from that arrow. The first one sails past Pyron. The second one sinks into your thigh, Eric. It's in there deep. Third archer is going to take aim at Drusilla, because you're the only one they can see. And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Just so you know, the cannon does have a health pool and an AC.
Okay.
Just in the future.
It's 7 plus 4, so 11 damage as they once again take aim at you. Catches you in the stomach. Off to the side. Ugh. The hoplite that you hit into the water crawls back on to the edge of the boat. And once again, to be fair, I'm going to make that their turn. The last of the archers is also going to take aim at Drusilla. And that is a 14 hit.
That misses.
Still soaking wet from being in the ocean. They haven't quite regained themselves and goes wide. Drusilla, it's your turn.
She's going to attack the archer on the left again.
Okay.
And oh my goodness. There it goes. 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 7 damage.
You take aim and you pull the trigger and it catches right in the head. And you see the archer stagger for a second and then fall forward into the pile of thorns, impaling them on the front of the ship. And they are dead.
She is going to... Where's my movement? 30? She's going to move behind this other mast. And then instead of taking a second attack action, she's going to take that to reload her weapon.
Okay. The other two hoplites. One is going to make it onto the ship. The other one is going to be stuck. Both of them taking 10 feet of thorn damage.
$11 damage.
I'll just apply that to both. That's fine. And as we come back to the top of the round, you hear something. You see something.
Oh, you've done it now. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
And Emmaus knows this before anyone else. He calls it. He can feel what's happening. As he looks around, you all are kind of startled because you're in the middle of combat. Why would he be saying this? As you look down to the water, you can see the water has now turned black. The skies above you roll in, and the clouds bring darkness where there once was light.
It's coming.
And we can take a pause if you want to do a little RP here.
What's coming? Is it something cool?
You could say that.
I mean, what? I don't like surprises. What's coming?
Pyron looks up the clouds. Oh shit, this isn't gonna be good.
I mean, I like a good thunderstorm.
Anyone want to give me a nature check?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Of course.
That 20, so that'll be a 26. And if it uses any of my tools, it'd be a 32.
Okay. You recognize the signs immediately. This is the sign of a kraken.
Pyron.
As you hear the sound, you feel the water around you part and turn into nothing but foam as this head comes out of the water next to the enemy ship and bites down on it, breaking it in half and dragging it down beneath the waves. You hear screams of the archers on board as you see tentacles start to come up from the depths, grabbing those that are in the water and pulling them under the sea.
Eric's gonna look at the hoplite that he was previously engaged with, and he's gonna hold his halberd up, like next to him.
Hey, if you help us fight it, I won't kill you.
He's stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He's kind of looking back over his shoulder.
I rolled persuasion just for shits and giggles.
Pyron would like to peek his head over and level his gun on Eric's shoulder. And I won't kill you either. Maybe give him advantage.
Deal.
I mean, I rolled a natural 20, but I have a -1,
too.
so...
As you are having this conversation and he sees the wreckage of this ship just start to be dragged into the depths to the point where nothing is visible. Anymore. Even the Kraken's face itself goes back underneath the water. You then once again hear the surging of water as you see tentacles appear around the ship. One by one. There are now 2 enemy hoplites at the front of your ship and 7 tentacles around you.
Brace yourselves. This Kraken's not gonna go lightly. But it's a great test of mettle. Once again, men, don't interfere. Let's see how they handle this.
Can I call out to the other 2 enemy hoplites?
Sure.
Hey, you guys, you want to help us kill this Kraken?
Won't kill you.
Sounds like fun, right?
They just look at each other, look at all the tentacles, see the carnage all the way around, and are inclined to fight with you. Seeing as they are now outnumbered with no place to retreat and nothing but a giant creature below. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's
they're
be
agreeable.
friends.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Hold on. It's
At least
fine.
I can fly.
It's fine. I'm trying to drag it so we can get it in a more center shot. for everybody. Just
So
give me a second.
Eric's doing the like Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote over the cliff
I know why.
edge.
I know. It's gonna be 1 second. It's gonna
Okay.
take a second here. It's because the ship is on a different layer.
You need to move it
It's
slightly
fine.
up.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's totally fine. And then we'll I'll adjust the other map. There we go.
Voice.
Perfect. All right.
Eric's gonna look at Pyron.
Hey, do you got any more of that, like, sniffy powder stuff in your pistol? I'm kind of hurt a bit.
Yeah, I fucking see that. Give me a sec. It's got a fucking Kraken up here.
Well, all fucking right.
Pyron, it's your turn. What do you do?
The ballista is going to turn to the left tentacle closest to Sakar, and is going to fire at that tentacle.
Okay.
For 12.
One second.
Yep.
I need to see what that just did to. Okay, good. Whew. This is gonna be interesting. I am testing the limits of Beyond 20 Disintegration right now. Oh, balls. Do you guys have your remember your initiative from before?
21, yeah.
22.
Hold on one second here. I need to
19. Scroll up and look.
I was last.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry. Pyron, you were 22.
Yep.
Zakar, you were 21. Gisela, you were 7. And Eric, I think were you 18?
18 or 19, one of those. I don't
18,
remember.
I think.
Thought I could scroll up and look for it, but don't
There
see
we
it.
go. I think we're good.
It was nice.
All right. Pyron. So you're going to take a shot and you do damage to one of the tentacles.
Okay. Get that screen.
For how much?
I'm getting to the screen. One second. 3. And it gets pushed back 5 feet.
It's a monstrosity.
I don't think that's how that works.
I know.
Hold
I'm
on
just
one
going by
second.
what it says. If the
Uh,
target is a creature, just push up to 5 feet away from the cannon.
Okay.
Regardless of it doesn't say about size.
We?
Yeah, there's nothing about it being immune to any types of damage, so that's fine.
Well, it's force damage anyway, so.
Either, I mean, or
Yeah.
or in place, you know what I mean, immovable. So which tentacle did you fire at?
The one, like, just left and slightly north of Scar.
Oh, okay, that one. Gotcha.
Yep, to push it away from him.
Let's see. Bam. Okay.
Alright. And then for his action, he's going to put the gun to Eric's head again. Look, don't make me regret this one. And at second level, cast Cure Wounds. So that is going to be 7 plus 3, so 10.
Once again, as you pull the trigger, that green kind of gunpowdery mist falls over Eric, and he's healed.
And then would like to move just right to like the middle of the ship.
Okay.
That'll be it.
All right. How high are you in the air? Or you were down by the bottom of the ship, weren't you?
Yeah, I am right above the water
All right.
at the moment.
That tentacle closest to you is going to attempt to constrict you. So it has constrict of 14. So I think that goes against your strength modifier.
Strength. So I make a strength roll.
No, it's whatever
Oh.
your strength is.
Oh, 8. Well, yeah, 8
Plus modifier?
minus 7.
So you're
Yeah.
attempting to grapple, right?
It's a constrict. So it's a melee weapon attack. And oh no, you need to make a saving throw.
Okay. $18.
You make the saving throw, so you are not restrained, but you still take. Let's see. That 2d8 plus 4, I think that rolled the damage on it. 11 bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning damage. Ow.
And it's going to move closer to the ship. And it's your turn.
How tall are these tentacles? How long are they?
They are. I mean, they say enormous. I'm going to go with 30 feet.
I want to fly my whole movement 50 feet up.
Okay. To be out of the
And-
reach of the tentacles.
Yes. Just staying in the same spot, just 50 feet up, and then I will take. I will attack the tentacle that just came at me.
Okay.
It's 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hit. Oh, I guess it's just 1d8. 8 damage.
As you throw your arrow, sinks in. You see the tentacle wince, but it continues writhing around in the water.
And then I'll take my extra attack. I'll actually use my bonus action to move my hunter's mark over to him.
Okay.
And then I'll take my extra attack. And that will be a 9.
That will miss.
A nat 1, so.
As you pull back, it's wiggling around too much, and it just sails by.
And that is my turn.
Next up is another tentacle, and I'm just going to go counterclockwise to keep myself honest here. So this tentacle is going to move next to the ship, and it is going to make a to try and constrict the boat. It is going to miss. Or it's going to... No, it's going to hit the boat. Pardon. It's going to hit the boat for 15 damage. And then hold on. It does get bonus damage. I believe if it hits a structure... Actually, hold on. It's my first time playing with this creature. Un momento.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Yes. So that makes sense. All right, so the tentacle is going to hit the ship for 16 damage. It just slams right down on the deck. The next tentacle, which is this tentacle here, is going to make the same attack. And that will hit for another 18 damage. You can see the place where it hits. It causes the hoplites that are there to kind of jump on their feet, and the back of the ship sinks a little bit as it does and bounces back up.
She'll hold together. Don't worry.
You hear Master Maya say. Next tentacle. This one. It's going to get a little closer to the ship. And once again attack. And hit the ship for another 18 damage. And Eric, it is now on you. You see these enormous tentacles writhe out of the water and start beating on the boat itself.
So they're like, are they still like on the boat? The tentacles?
No, they're hitting and then kind of recoiling back up in the air.
Okay. Eric's gonna move here.
Come and get it.
As you say that, the next tentacle up does move towards you in the water and then goes to attack you.
When it gets within 10 feet, I'm gonna use my opportunity attack and hit it, and reduce its movement speed to 0 if I hit it.
Let's see. All right, it is going to Oh, I need to make a different roll. Okay. It is going to get within 10 feet of you as it rolls to hit of an 18, but you think that misses, right? Your AC's 19?
Yeah.
So it's going to miss you, but it's still going to get hung up right as it goes to whack you. Can you stop it mid-attack if it's far enough away? Like, can you stop an attack?
No, I can't stop an attack, but I can stop their movement.
Right, so hit the movement, he's not 10 feet away from you because he's still plenty feet away. It has a 30-foot reach.
So, right. So, I really don't know how this would work because it's coming into my range when it goes to hit me.
But it's making an attack. It's not making a movement.
Yeah, but I think the confusion is that the movement is part of the creature, the attack is part of the creature, which is within 10 feet, so that's the...
Right. It's like attacking me with its body. So
Correct.
it's in my range when it goes to attack me.
Sure.
So do I get that do I get that reaction?
Here's what I'll do. I'll say the creature's going to get its attack, but then you're going to be able to take your attack of opportunity. Because it's going to come, the creature's going to come into your range as part of its attack. Whether it hits or misses, it hits or misses, but you're still going to get your opportunity attack because it is then within 10 feet of you.
Okay.
So it swings back and tries to just squash you. And it lands next to you, and you're able to take your opportunity attack.
I rolled. I think I missed.
And as you try and poke at it with your halberd, it pulls itself back just in the nick of time.
Haha, no boop for you today.
The hoplite, the enemy hoplite that you beckon to initially, kind of goes and moves more towards the center mast and attempts to attack the one tentacle that you all have been firing at and throws a spear.
That guy's gonna be my friend. We're gonna drink beer later.
He hits a dirty 20
Nice.
for
Eric's
5
fault.
damage.
Eric's lost inspiration, right?
Do I
He's
have
gonna
inspiration?
throw again.
Yeah, you were given inspiration earlier.
You do
Oh,
have
I didn't
inspiration,
even-
yes.
I didn't even give it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to throw a second spear after that, and it's not going to hit, unfortunately. But he still does 5 damage to that tentacle. Next up is the Kraken itself. This is a lot of fun, guys. to manage this many things at one time.
I bet.
I mean, it would be more fun if my initiative was higher than 7.
It's fun for him. He ain't say that. It's fun for him.
I have a 22 and have to wait just as long.
He's got a point.
The Kraken stays below as it's still working on its previous meal. However, the next tentacle moves towards the front of the ship and goes and attempts to fling one of the hoplites off the ship. So he needs to roll. That is an 18. Against strength save. Well, no, so against the strength. So he does. They need to make a saving throw. Do not make the saving throw. So this hoplite here gets grappled and flung. "60 feet into the ocean." So probably 30 feet up in the air and another 30 feet kind of off to the side. Off to where the Kraken is underneath the water now. Doesn't take but too much damage, but he's there. The other hoplite, seeing that, throws a spear at that tentacle. And is going to hit for 15 damage on that tentacle. That would be this one. And is going to once again throw at that same tentacle. Nine plus 5 will hit. For another. Wait, for 18 damage. All right. This one knows how to throw a frickin' spear. That tentacle's looking bloodied. Trisella, on you.
Yay. Alright. Trisella is going to use another grip point and use Deadeye Shot this time. And that gives me advantage on my attack roll.
Nice.
So, but she's going to shoot that tentacle.
Go for it. That'll hit.
2. Okay. For 8 damage.
All right.
And then she'll use her second shot on it as well. That one wasn't right.
What'd you roll?
I'm rolling for my second attack, and the Beyond 20 thing is rolling a d20 plus a d10.
It's doing the damage, the D10 damage.
Oh,
It's rolling it all at once.
that's weird. I don't like
So it was a
that.
10. It was a roll for 10 to hit.
So it was a 17 to hit?
That'll hit.
'Cause I rolled... Okay.
For is it 12 damage is what it rolled.
Okay, for 12 damage. This is confusing. I don't know if I like it. I gotta fix that later.
If you click on the attack name in the Beyond 20, it rolls your hit and attack at the same time.
Okay. But anyway, the
That's
second
exactly
attack was
the
12
problem.
damage.
Okay.
And she'll... Oops.
I got that. As you fire both attacks, you see them tear into this tentacle. Huge chunks come off, and it starts to just writhe in pain, and just blood starts oozing out the sides.
And that is her turn.
The last tentacle up here will move towards that hoplite and drag him to the depths. And he gone. At this point, Master Emmaus,
Come now, you better do something. If you don't get some of these tentacles out of here now, I'm gonna have to get involved. And if I have to get involved, you fail.
Pyron, it's up to you.
So as a bonus action, we'll use the cannon to shoot the northeastmost tentacle. And that will be for
Why that one?
18 damage.
Oof.
Isn't that one really hurt?
The top right?
The one right here.
Yes, you're right. It is.
That's
18
that one.
damage.
No, 18 to hit.
Oh,
That's
18 to
not
hit. That'll hit. Yes.
Let me get to the damage. And let's roll. There we go. And 9 damage.
As your ethereal ballista just again loads back and lets loose this huge bolt. It tears this tentacle in half, severing the top from the bottom. You see it cut clean through the flesh, and you can see the bolt continue to sail off into the water. As the top half of the tentacle drops into the water, you can see the bottom below spurt forth blood. You can hear a from the depths as the tentacle fades back into the blackness.
Boy, fuck you! And he goes to the, he pulls up his gun and shoots 3 separate times as he casts Scorching Ray to 3 different tentacles.
Let's
so
go!
Let me roll this. So that is 19 to hit on the first one, and that one is aimed at the tentacle that this one. The one that
Okay.
and then next shot is a 9 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, and that one was aimed at the one next to Sakar. And then last shot, that is a 12 to hit.
That will hit.
And that's aimed at the one to the right of Eric for 11 damage.
All right. All right, so read me those damages, sorry, one more time.
Oh god, they're gone.
They're not gone.
So
They're
a
still
12
they're
hits?
still- A 12 hits.
His opportunity attack that he did with a 12, you said missed.
Oh. I'll tell you why after.
Okay. I don't remember.
6 and the other one was 11, right?
Well, I know that so the one that's to the right of Eric takes 11. The one to the left of Sakar missed. And then the one, I guess a 9 is what Schmetter's saying for the one that...
29 and 12. Okay. Okay.
There's no 20.
It says 6 on the.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
We just had that. Let's see.
So this one takes
9.
6, right? This one missed, and then this one took 11.
The one to the bottom left takes 6. The one to the right takes 11.
Perfect.
11, 6.
Yep, got it.
Alright.
The tentacle to the left is going to once again it's going to try and hit the ship. And it does. For 23 damage, and you see the deck next to you, Eric, kind of starts to split. And there's a big divot as it pulls out.
Hey, Kraken, knock that off.
Sakar, up to you.
I want to fly another 50 feet up. 'Cause I don't know how tall this thing is, if it's going to come out of the water. And he's going to...
It's not going to come any higher than it is. I'm just going to tell you.
Fair enough. And I will take another shot at the tentacle to the left of me. That'll be 12 to hit.
That'll hit.
$17 damage.
As you pull back your bow and draw in, you can see about midway down, it just pierces and sinks completely into the tentacle. You can't see the arrow anymore. All you see is a big spurt of this purplish looking blood just kind of start flowing out of this big hole you've now left in it.
And I will take another shot at it. Sharpshooter.
You're starting to impress me. Keep it up.
Which is 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
That will do. 26 damage.
What does it look like when you disintegrate a tentacle with an arrow?
I'm not quite close enough to be covered in the eviscerations. But there is a lot of meat everywhere. And I will try to catch a piece. I've always wondered what Kraken tastes like.
As you let loose that second arrow, you find that same hole that you hit before. Only this time, right next to it. And you can see that the piece of the tentacle just has this tear that forms, and under its own weight just collapses in on itself. And chunks of meat fly up in the air, and yeah, you can grab a piece of meat. Along with heaps of purple blood, and you see the tentacle once again fade back into the water. Really starting to piss this thing off. This next little wriggly bastard down here is going to try and slam into Tricella. That is a 23 to hit.
That hits.
As you see this giant tentacle come swinging down, it slams into your body, doing 19 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Pulls itself back up and starts writhing once again in the water. While this tentacle at the rear here goes to slam into the deck. Once again,
You skipped me.
it didn't. You are after that tentacle. You're after this tentacle. At least in my order you are.
What's your turn?
That's what
The
it says.
one that just attacked is
20. This
with
one's
the
19. I'm looking at my order. There's Sakar,
was-
then there's a big tentacle, then there's another tentacle,
Yeah.
and there's another tentacle.
The
And
one with
then-
20 is now at the bottom of the order.
So now this is the 19. As it
I think
goes to
I
hit,
think I lost track of a tentacle. My bad.
that's fine, no problem. As it goes to try and slam into the back of the ship, you see Emmaus kind of stretch out his hand and creates a shield of ice in the middle of the air. And just as this tentacle is about to come down on the ship, you can see it hit this shield and bounce back off, deflected.
Stop hitting my ship. Thank you. Continue, you're doing great.
Eric.
Oh, we failed when you interjected.
I interjected for my ship, not for you. Keep fighting.
Fair enough.
How far away am I from that tentacle that's closest to me?
It's towards the edge of the ship, so maybe 15 feet away at most from where you're standing.
I'm gonna move 5 feet closer to it,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna attack it.
Nice.
So I am going to make a precision attack, which is a maneuver that I get. So it means that I roll an extra d8 to the roll.
Nice.
So there's my roll. don't need it.
Oh, you hit.
And that will be for 13 slashing damage.
And use inspiration on your damage roll.
What does that give me?
I don't know.
I've
what-
never used
I
inspiration.
don't know how to inspiration.
No, you use inspiration as to give you like an extra d20. Like you can give yourself
Oh,
like an
okay.
advantage on a roll.
Oh, it's advantage. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do that yet.
Different than bardic inspiration. Got it.
Different than bardic inspiration, 100%.
So that was 13 damage, and then I have extra attack, so I'm gonna try to hit it again.
As you just slice into it with the halberd, you just see it kind of writhe away from you, and as it does, its flesh tears even more off the halberd, just starting to ooze blood out of that wound.
I'm gonna use another superiority die to take another precision attack to add a d8 to that roll, my second roll.
Okay. You can use your advantage now if you want.
Okay.
Depends on what did you. If you need it, you can use it.
I don't know what the AC on this thing is, so
What did you roll?
a 7, and then I add the d8, which I rolled a 3, so it's 10.
Use advantage. Use your inspiration.
I use my inspiration.
It's technically not how that's supposed to work, but I'm the DM. I can do what I want.
I am inspired to hit you again.
And that's a 15.
There we go. Let's go.
And you're going to take
11 more slashing damage.
Awesome.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to recover 1d10 plus 6 HP. So we'll roll the d10. Okay, so I get 7 more HP. I rolled a 1.
Very nice. And with that,
And then I'm going to move 5 feet back. So I moved my 5 feet back
You
after
did.
completing my 2 attacks.
you have moved your 5 feet. Perfect. All right. And Eric, it's your friend the Tentacle's turn.
That's fun. Come get me.
And it is definitely going to try and tentacle you.
Come touch me. Let's see if I
Oh.
touch you back.
Yeah, it'll come touch you. That's a 34 to hit.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's a miss.
For 20 bludgeoning damage. But then you get your attack of opportunity. So as
Ow.
this, in fact, give me that roll.
Get fucked.
Nice. So, Eric, you see this giant tentacle coming down to slam right on top of you, and you take your halberd and you just position it right next to you on the deck, knowing that you're going to take this damage. And as this thing knocks into you and just inflicts pain upon your body, the halberd goes straight through this tentacle.
Ow!
Pyron sees this. Oh fuck! You okay?
Eric's gonna like stand up and like push the tentacle off of him.
Nice. As it tries to pull the tentacle back up, and you're holding onto the halberd, you stand up. Ugh. And I want you to give me a strength check, Eric.
Oh,
Full
I like
flavor.
those.
Full flavor.
I like those. Oh, get fucked.
That's a 22.
And as you maintain your grip on your halberd, and the tentacle tries to pry itself back off, you basically eviscerate half of the tentacle, and as it writhes in pain back into the air, the top rips the rest of the flesh from the tentacle, and it flies off into the ocean. Once again,
Eric,
from the depths.
Watching the tentacle fly away, he goes,
Toodaloo.
And you are covered in viscera, in this purple, sticky, hot blood.
I mean, it smells like fish shit.
I can smell
Yeah,
from
you-
here.
Well
Might taste
done,
good.
Eric. I didn't know you had that in you. Genuinely, I'm surprised. Good job, though.
How much health does Eric have?
17. Shh, don't say anything.
Shh, don't say anything. The hoplite runs from the front of the ship as far as he can, which is almost getting to Pyron. And as he does so, he's going to try and take a spear attack at the Kraken.
You can do it, dude.
With a 15, he's able to hit this tentacle right here for a total of 12 additional damage, and he's going to throw another spear. And he is going to miss. But that tentacle is looking terrible. This time, you see from the depths water start to bubble at the surface to the north of you. And as you do, you see the sky erupt with lightning.
Oh, good, a shower.
And both of the hoplites, the enemy, now friendly hoplites, which are basically closest to it within its quote-unquote vision, are going to have to make some dex saves. And those both fail horribly.
Ooh.
Sorry, buds.
And they each take 21 lightning damage as you see the sky start to light up and charge, and two bolts of lightning stream down and completely hit them in their heads, and you can see their bodies jolting and convulsing as they're taking all this damage. Armor singeing as the smoke lifts. The one to the left, your original buddy, has fallen. Drops to his knees, and then face first, and is no longer moving.
Oh, buddy.
The one to the right is looking really bloodied. His ears seem to have blood seeping through them, his nose is bleeding, and he's dropped to a knee and is breathing extremely heavy.
Hey, but lightning never strikes the same place twice, right? So you should be good.
Triss, it's your turn.
Me and my friend the tentacle over here. We're gonna spend a grit point for Deadeye shot. So it gives me advantage. Why did it? Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. That's weird.
Just punch
Well,
the
it hits.
tentacle.
What the fuck?
Misty
Okay.
step punch. Misty step back.
We'll take the 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 12 damage.
For 12 damage. Alright.
Is it dead yet?
Nope. As you fire that
The-
shot, you definitely leave a... You basically shoot, and it shoots the top 15% off of the tentacle, and you can see it kind of fall, but it's still writhing in the water.
And she'll make her second attack on him. $20 to hit.
That will most certainly hit.
For 6 damage.
Action surge, shoot again. Just kidding.
I just might if it's not dead.
That second shot hits a little bit lower and puts a sizable hole in. You see the writhing start to slow down, but it is still writhing.
This damn tentacle will go away. Actually, for her bonus action, she's gonna use Second Wind, which will give me some hit points back.
Okay.
So D10. 8 plus 6.
Lucky you, I rolled a 1.
So I got 14 hit points back. Because my second one gives me 1d10 plus 6.
All right.
And that is it for me.
Pyron, you're up.
As a bonus action, the Eldritch Cannon is going to turn towards the tentacle that Triss just shot and shoot fire. For a lovely 8.
That's it? Like an 8?
It's just it's an 8 to hit.
8 to hit.
Ouch.
Yes.
You
The
rolled a
ballista
2.
sails wide as the thing writhes in agony.
I am going to. No. I'm going to move down to about here. And I'm going to. The tentacle, the same tentacle that the cannon just shot at, I'm going to raise my gun and shoot firebolt at it. Go. 15 to hit
That will hit.
for 15 damage.
As you fire and take aim with this quite ornate firepiece that you have, and a bolt of fire comes surging out and hits right towards, oh no, the middle of the tentacle. You see fire erupt out of the hole on both sides of this tentacle and start to rise up and engulf the tentacle in flame. And it's still wriggling. And it slowly stops wiggling as the flames continue to burn and melt the flesh. And you see it just sink beneath the depths.
Pyron just sticks up his middle finger to it and looks at the one to his left. What? Hit me!
Sakaar, you're up.
Now this is better. This is what I expect from heroes of the Immortals.
Which ones are hurt?
All of them.
All of them.
Well, actually, I think the one in the bottom right is not hurt at all.
Bottom right is not hurt.
And the bottom left one's now dead.
Bottom left one is now dead.
Okay, so there's none on the left.
Correct.
Gotcha. I'm going to fly over to here. 40 feet. And take a shot at the nearest tentacle.
Do it.
Sharpshooter, so let's hope it's high roll. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Don't forget to add your plus 10 damage.
I put Hunter's Mark on a tentacle, but since that tentacle is connected to the Kraken itself, would that be...
Not right
I mean,
now.
I'll just use my bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on the next
Okay.
tentacle.
How much damage did you do to this one?
Let's see. 25.
Moving still in the air with two big kind of flaps of your wings, you easily close distance on this tentacle and fire down on it. Arrow going straight into the tentacle from up high. Once again, you see the arrow disappear inside the tentacle and blood spew forth from the opening.
And I will take another shot at it. That is a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 23 damage.
With your second arrow, you pierce the base of the tentacle, and as you see the arrow once again sink all the way into the tentacle, you see from the tip it starts to fall. And it slowly slumps back into the waves, leaving a pool of this purplish blood on top of the black ink. And it too is gone.
That is my turn.
That last little tentacle is going to move closer to you, Pyron.
Hurry up.
And attempt to get you. Yeah, that's a 35 to hit. As it comes screaming down on you, the tentacle just engulfs you and crushes you with 21 bludgeoning damage.
As the tentacle hits the shield, I will use as a reaction my shield ability, which is called shield, not the spell. While holding the shield, there we go. While holding the shield, the wielder can use a reaction immediately after being hit by a melee attack to expend one of the shield's charges, which has 4, and push the attacker up to 15 feet away.
As this tentacle engulfs your body, you see the tentacle be repelled. And the rest of you are kind of like, huh? And you see Pyron holding this shield and is unscathed by this attack, and the tentacle itself is rocked backwards 15 feet.
I still take 21 damage.
Oh, you still take 21
No,
damage?
I still get hit. I just get to knock it back.
Nice. You still... So as your feet sink into the deck and you take that damage, you're still able to repel the tentacle.
You alright?
Ah, could have hit harder. As he staggers slightly.
Eric, you're up.
I am going to move right here
Okay.
in the space with Pyron. And that's it.
The last Hoplite moves down the deck slowly and takes aim to throw a spear once again at this tentacle. Die!
You can do it, buddy.
He's gonna try so hard. And he is able to hit for a total of 15 damage. You see that spear sink in. Grabs another spear. Goes for a second throw. Take that, you cur.
If you miss, your mother's a whore.
With that, he almost lets it slip loose, but still manages to hit the tentacle for another 11 damage. Fuck off.
It worked, didn't it?
You see the water that has been rustling ahead of you begins to break as the Kraken itself once again resurfaces in front of you. Directly in front of the ship. And you see the light once again crackle in the sky as it's going to target both you, Sakaar, and the hoplite, Hoplite, with its lightning storm.
What save was that?
X.
Dex.
Yep.
That one.
Ouch.
You take
That is
28 lightning damage. And our hoplite friend is Hoplite friend is also deceased, taking that second blast of lightning as once again the sky ignites above you and you see the electricity form above both of your persons and stream down, engulfing you in electricity. And because you rolled a nat 1, Sakaar, I'm actually going to have you fall. And you're going to need to take... How high were you?
I was 50 feet above the water, so I'm not sure how much.
So you're going to be
You're unconscious.
20 feet above the deck. Because the deck is 3 stories high.
Okay.
So, what is it, 2d8? Bludgeoning damage.
Hopefully you roll below a 5.
Am I rolling that or are you rolling that?
I'm rolling that.
Okay.
I just want, suspense.
Let me know.
Just to let you know before you hit the deck. Ooh, that's a 7.
It's a 7. It's not
All
terrible.
right.
He's unconscious.
I have 5 health.
So you're unconscious.
Yeah.
Welp, as you fall from the sky after being engulfed in lightning, your body just, as your wings go up, your back crashes against the deck, once again leaving a divot in the top, and your wings just fold over your body, unconscious. Tristan, it's your
fucked up.
turn.
Oh. Alright. She will make her first attack on the tentacle. $11?
Misses.
Bastard. $15.
That'll hit.
Okay, the second one hits. Um, 4 damage.
All right.
And that is unfortunately it. She'll take the rest of her turn to reload her weapon again.
As you fire into this tentacle, you see it once again writhe in pain. And even though it's not down, it disappears below the depths. And the main kraken rises out of the water further. Not today, beast. Not my ship. You see Emmaus kind of conjure up this cloud of fog on the top of the water to cut off the creature's vision, and starts yelling at his men to row. You hear the beast.
And you hear
Splashing of water all around you as the beast is clearly trying to reach the boat, but it doesn't. And as you sail away, Emmaus looks at you.
Congratulations. You've earned the right to be immortals. Tend to your wounded. Someone get to Sakaar. Now.
Tyron goes over to Sakaar and kneels down. You did a fucking good job, and puts the gun to his head and shoots Cure Wounds for... let me roll. 5 healing.
Scar's immediately gonna stand up and pull his bow back, very weakly. He's not okay at all.
Hey,
He's
don't
looking for the Kraken.
don't shoot anyone's eye out. It's gone. Nice job. Nice shots. And Pyron immediately starts going around the ship and kneeling down where there's damage and casting Mending in 1-foot areas at a time.
That's gonna take some time.
Cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Does anybody have like a band-aid, a bandage, something? I'm leaking.
Oh, just let me tend to the ship and then we'll tend to you. Just continues to mend the ship slowly.
I'm
Cast
pretty
Cure
sure Trisiella is that right? Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Trisiella.
she's a little hurt too. I guess we're all kind of beat up. Shit.
No shit, Eric.
My bad. What can I do? How can I help?
I don't know. Ask Omeus. I'm repairing the ship.
Oh, fine, Eric. Just stay out of the way and let the healers do their jobs. You did well. You should be proud.
Eric's gonna reach into his bag. And pull out some of his rations and just eat some dried turkey while he's standing there.
Really? You're gonna eat?
I'm hungry. You told me to stay out of the way, so I'm staying out of the way.
Fair enough.
I lost my flute, so I
Picking
couldn't
the
play music for you.
singed- I'm gonna pick the singed feathers off of me. Start plucking them, getting rid of them. Cleaning myself up a bit.
Hey, you took that bolt of lightning like a champ.
You also hit the deck like a champ.
No, you hit the deck like a jackass, but still.
I expected you to catch me.
Sorry, I was holding my halberd. I didn't want to poke you with it.
Fair enough. Saw what it did to that tentacle.
I did. Did you see what I did to mine? It was pretty cool.
No, I said I saw what it did to that tentacle, what your halberd did to that tentacle.
Oh, yeah. Did you see what it did to me though? Like, look at me. My armor is like covered in goop.
It shouldn't
gross.
fall from the sky.
You should get clean. Listen,
I'm not jumping in the
all-
water.
you've all done well. Not every group of heroes has to face a kraken on their first day. Not to say it hasn't happened before, but you did pretty well. You've at least earned the right to go below deck, get yourselves cleaned up, and rest until we get to the Docker Isles.
Emmaus, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Eric.
Where did you learn how to do the thingy? With the thing that made the tentacle go... Phew?
Eric, you do realize that I'm an immortal.
Yep.
Years of training and dedication and experience will give you abilities you not yet possess.
I'm in.
And then he's gonna start looking for the way to get below deck to get clean.
Grigoris, Stelios, please get Eric cleaned up.
I smell like fish shit.
Sikar, come here. Aridis. Aridis is going to take you and get you looked after. You still are a bit banged up. Elias, take Drusilla. Attend to the wounds. Pyron, your
Oi.
abilities are most intriguing. You want to be a pirate king. You can be so much more. If you can already do this now, I have a feeling our masters are going to have a lot of fun with you.
I look forward to it. You did say keep my horizons open, so maybe Pirate King's a little small thinking.
Good. You're learning already.
I'll take some gold.
As Eric's walking.
Pirate
There's
continues
no
to
gold, Eric.
move around the ship and continue to mend until most of the serious damages has been repaired.
You see Emmaus stomp 3 times on the upper deck. And as you go below deck, you see rows of people on the first deck rowing. And you see a man at the far end of the ship start to begin on beating the drum once again as the rowing increases for a bit and then slowly starts to level off. Day turns to night, and as you all are beckoned back to the top deck by Emmaus, you see him standing in the center of the ship.
Good. You've come up. How are you feeling?
I know that I'm being hit by a tentacle, him being hit with lightning, and him also being hit with a tentacle, and honestly, I didn't see really what happened with Triss. I assume more tentacles. Doing okay.
I feel dirty, even though I'm cleaner. That makes sense.
I
It
do know
doesn't
the
make
feeling.
sense.
I've been there.
Is the ship prepared to your liking? It took me better half part of an hour.
The spear is sharp again. I thank you.
Anytime. That's what artificers do.
Can I get some grog?
There's no grog, Eric.
Ugh. What?
There's mead.
I mean, that'll do at a pinch, I guess.
I could go for a drink.
There's mead over there.
And he points off into the horizon as you can see just the first outline of one of the islands. And as he says that, you can see a beacon of light erupt at the top of what seems to be the highest point of that island.
There. There is home. We'll be there shortly. There will be a celebration of your arrival. Enjoy it, because from here on out, it's going to be work. It's going to be hard. And you're going to get powerful. Beyond your wildest imaginations. Are you ready?
You know we're ready.
Gonna bow, slightly humbled that I got my ass kicked.
Sure. I'm definitely ready.
Tyron kind of crosses his arms and leans over to look at Triss. And you?
Oh, I'm ready.
Well, hot shit and call me a Kraken's third tentacle. We're all ready to go.
You know, for a second I thought you said testicle. And then I realized you were talking about a kraken.
He just kind of raises an
Kraken's
eyebrow.
I'm not gonna ask that question.
I mean, if you want to go down there and try to fondle the kraken's balls, you go right ahead.
I think we'll leave that to you,
Stick
Eric.
to the air.
I don't want to.
How
Alright,
about
take me
we
back.
just look to the horizon and dream of the future. You will achieve immortality. I have a feeling. Take care of each other.
And Emmaus jumps overboard once again into the ocean depths.
Bye.
And that's the one shot.